News today, Russia is threatening world peace with unacceptable aggressive acts. MI5 shock warning. Russia's leader Vladimir Putin was the target of a scathing attack from MI5 chief Andrew Parker denouncing the country's flagrant breach of law to undermine international stability. MI5 chief Andrew Parker lambasted the Russian government's attempts to undermine the international political order with its repeated aggressive and pernicious activities. In a speech addressing the leaders of 30 European intelligence services, the counter-terrorism group, Mr. Parker praised Russia for wanting to establish the country on the world stage but voiced his criticism towards Vladimir Putin and his government. The MI5 boss said, "We want a cordial relationship with the Russian government and for it to live up to its international obligations, taking its place on the world stage in the rules-based order. We look forward to that day, but our respect for Russia's people and desire for a productive relationship cannot and must not stop us from calling out and pushing back on the Kremlin's flagrant breaches of international rules." Theresa May expelled 23 Russian diplomats following the attempted murder of former double agent Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia in Salisbury in March 2018. Russia denied any involvement in the crime, but the allegations against Mr. Putin sparked a hard response from both the European Union and the US in support of the UK. Mr. Parker continued, "Leaders across Europe and the world have taken a stand. They've sent a strong message that the first use of a nerve agent in Europe since the Second World War and supporting and protecting the Syrian regime's horrific use of chemical weapons to kill and maim civilians is simply not acceptable. Also, the Russian government's invasion of Crimea, the taking of territory of another sovereign European country by force, cannot be acceptable. Seeking to interfere with legitimate democratic election in the US and in France is not acceptable. Attempting to mount a coup against the elected government of Montenegro is not acceptable, and neither is unleashing cyber attacks of the sort you have already heard about against out countries and institutions, including the attacks against the Bundestag in Berlin." Tensions between Russia and Europe have been frighteningly high following the poisoning of Mr. Skripal in Salisbury. The ongoing conflict in the war-torn nation of Syria has also been responsible for the increasingly strained communication. Relations worsened after the UK, US and France launched missile airstrikes on war-torn Syria following the Douma chemical attack, which has been blamed on the Assad regime. At least 75 people are said to have been killed by the attack, but Syrian President Bashar Assad, a key ally of Moscow, has denied any involvement. Thanks for watch. Please share, like, comment this video and subscribe channel for latest news.